Welcome to the Once Upon a Destination podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, here with my wife, Megan, and this podcast is where real-life Disney trips meet real-life parenting. We're a family of three sharing honest tips, travel stories, and everything we've learned about doing Disney with a toddler in tow. Whether you're planning for your first trip or your 50th, we're here to help you travel smarter and with less stress. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Once Upon a Destination podcast. I'm Kyle Hudson, your host. I'm here with my wife, Megan. How are you doing today, Megan?
Pretty good, actually.
Not bad for another day with a 3-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a good day.
Good. Yeah, a lot of wrestling involved this evening.
He was getting a little wild there towards the end.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, we record this after we put our 3-year-old to bed. So we're getting towards the end of our day, kind of tired, but we're thinking about Disney and thinking about our upcoming trip. But we had a lot of fun on our last one, and one of the things that we wanted to talk about with our last trip that we got to do was we got to do both the water parks. And we thought a great idea for an episode would be Blizzard Beach versus Typhoon Lagoon.
Which one is better for a toddler specifically?
Right. And so we're going to talk a little bit about both those parks. We're going to talk about how it's a perk and some of the things that come with that perk and how you're able to use them strategically so that you can be able to do as much as you can in the water parks. So we went this past July and we stayed at 2 different resorts. We did a split stay. And so that enabled us to be able to go to both water parks for free. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the perk that Disney's got going on this year and I think is continuing on in next year. So currently we're in 2025.
Right. So if you stay on property with Disney, the day of check-in and the day of check-in only, you can go to whichever water park is open. This summer, they happen to have both of them open at the same time, which is not normal. Usually one of them is closed for cleaning and refurbishment and things like that. And then the other one is open for use. But this summer, since I guess they're doing that promotion, they opened both parks. And we were able to take advantage of that since, like you said, we did the split stay. So we had a check-in day, 2 different days.
Yeah. I'm really glad we were able to work that out too, because I think both parks are unique and they have their own flavor to them. Yeah. And I know which park is definitely my favorite. But when asking Hayden what his favorite is, he keeps saying one over the other, but it's so funny because I had a hard time believing it. Like he seemed like he had a better time at the other one. But I think both parks are good, and I think they both have their unique spots for children. So let's dive into both of them. Why don't we start with the one that we went to first? So the one that we went to first was Typhoon Lagoon. What was your overall impression of that park?
I thought it was beautiful. The immersion in that park is excellent. You really feel like you're in kind of like paradise, where you feel like you're in Hawaii or some Polynesian island, somewhere tropical. Very tropical. Yes, yeah. It's really fun.
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. And then Stitch is their like mascot. So that's kind of fun too. If you ever go to like the glow nights with them, he'll show up. You can do a meet and greet with Stitch.
I didn't know.
Yeah, one of the cast members was telling me about that
cool.
when we were getting lunch. Yeah. So, because I was telling them while we were waiting for our food, I was telling him about Hayden's first movie was Lilo and Stitch. And he was telling me that Stitch was their mascot, which makes sense because Typhoon Lagoon kind of seems like Hawaii. Stitch landed in Hawaii, so that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. I really liked that park too. I thought it was the prettier of the 2 water parks.
Yeah.
I mean, both are gorgeous and both are very well themed. I felt that Blizzard Beach felt a little more like it was trying to be themed, and Typhoon Lagoon just was more
immersive.
Yeah. Just like naturally.
Like you just felt like you were somewhere else.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's only so much of that you can pull off in a water park, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the middle of Hawaii. Like, you're never once, truly transported. But I would say Blizzard.
Though looking at videos of other water parks in this country,
Yeah.
Volcano Bay aside, Disney does it like no one else. Like,
Yeah.
there's no contest. Volcano Bay looks really cool though.
It does look cool. We'll have to go to that one next. But yeah, I think Typhoon Lagoon was very pretty. I liked how it was laid out. It seemed to me
it was a little smaller than Blizzard Beach, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Maybe I didn't really walk around Blizzard Beach as much.
I just feel like it was more just
I had a migraine that day.
Laid out more in a straight line, kind of around you're kind of like a U shape.
Yeah, but it was just more easy to get around. Yeah, I thought. Less confusing.
Yeah, I think straight line may not be the best word.
No, it was not a straight line.
Confused look on your face, but it was just more like it just kind of flowed a little bit better.
It made more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just kind of tell where everything went, and that wave pool is absolutely
it's
insane.
Crazy. Hold on to your kids is all I have to say.
Yeah. And what's funny is like it looked crazy, and then I actually went out in the middle of it in the deep end, and I was still just completely blown away by how much force is behind that wave. And I love how there's no like real warning. You just hear
the whoosh.
Then all of a sudden there's like
6 foot wave comes at you.
Tsunami is coming at you. Yeah. So it was fun. I really enjoyed that part. We went in the middle of the summer, but I heard that the wave pool in Typhoon Lagoon is heated in the winter.
Is it Typhoon Lagoon or is it Blizzard Beach that's heated?
Pretty sure it was Typhoon Lagoon.
Okay.
So if you're listening to us and trying to make winter Disney plans, make sure to double check via Google because I could be mistaken.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
I do know that Typhoon Lagoon is the one that has lights.
Right.
Blizzard Beach does not.
Which would mean that would be the one that would be open during winter, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the way they used to do it. I thought Blizzard Beach was opened during summer, and then Typhoon Lagoon was open during the cooler months.
They would alternate.
But they would alternate and do refurb, but then one would typically be open more summertime. Because that's the whole shtick of Blizzard Beach is that it's snowing when it's hot outside. Mm-hmm. So it would make sense that it's open.
Frozen is all of the Frozen characters are the mascots there.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
So let's talk about, there's a bunch of different rides. There's a lot of different things for all ages to do in Typhoon Lagoon. There's things for toddlers. There's things for the bigger kids, teenagers, things for parents. They have an entire toddler area, since we're focused on that as parents of a toddler. What was your impression of the toddler play area?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. It seemed to me that Hayden liked the one at Blizzard Beach better. However, he keeps saying that he likes Typhoon Lagoon better.
Yeah, that's why I was confused
so
by
I
that.
don't know. But there were more slides at Blizzard Beach, but there was more like climbing and things to do at Typhoon Lagoon. So maybe that's why he liked that one.
It could be.
And there were more like spray things at Typhoon Lagoon.
Blizzard Beach also, especially in the toddler area, it felt a lot more crowded.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is because the toddler area is a lot more easily accessible at Blizzard Beach, whereas you have to
where it's at.
Walk all the way to like the far end of the park to get to the Ketchy Kitty Creek. That was one thing I didn't like about that in Typhoon Lagoon is that, okay, let the teenagers walk to the far end of the park, right? Why don't we let the people with small children
and strollers,
not have to walk that far for their kids to be able to play, because you had to go all the way to the end, or just about the end.
What it is, I think, about Typhoon Lagoon that Hayden liked was they had a pool that did not have any waves in it.
Yeah,
in addition
right
to
by those roller coaster slides.
Where the slush and gusher is.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering the name.
You're welcome. Yeah. He really liked that area. He liked to be able to wade in that pool and just kind of play there because he's been learning to swim over this summer as well. Mm-hmm. So that might be why he favored that park over the other, because there was actual area for him to like try to swim.
That could be. And I really did like that area, and I did like that pool because to me, like if you have a family with varying ages, it's almost like the perfect place to stop and park because you've got like the still pool area for the little kids where they're just going to have a good time regardless. They're in the water.
You've got toys to bring with you that they can play with in the pool too. So it's not like, there's nothing for them to do.
Right. And then you've got like the roller coaster slides.
For the older kids.
For the older kids. Like literally all in the same pool.
And the height requirement wasn't that big for the Slush and Gusher.
No, there were some, I wouldn't say little kids on there, but there were some, you don't have to be like a teenager to ride it.
Like, I think it was only 28 inches or maybe 32? 42.
Yeah, you mean 42?
Yeah, 38 or 42. Yeah. Sorry, my math is bad. It's late in the day. We can edit that out.
Yeah.
Or you can leave it in. People like to laugh.
Yeah. Keep it interesting.
Yeah. I meant to say 38 or 42 inches. 28 would be quite short. Yeah.
Yeah. But double check height requirements.
Because I don't remember what they are. But I do remember some rather young kids getting on those particular slides. They also have the fun family rafts there. They had one at both parks.
I like the family raft better at Blizzard.
Beach was better. Yeah.
But you have to hike up the stairs if you can't get
get the ski lift.
The ski lift, yeah.
So you don't want to wait a half hour for the ski lift.
We've got a pretty good preview of Blizzard Beach in this whole discussion as well. But I thought I did think Typhoon Lagoon was easier to navigate just to figure out where you were.
I think it's a little bit smaller. I honestly think it is.
They're both laid out a bit different, and it's kind of hard to gauge. I mean, neither of them are so large that it's absolutely ridiculous and you can't figure out where you are or where you're going. I just think that Blizzard Beach is a little bit more convenient if you have a small child. I also noticed a big difference in shade in one park versus
there is
the
no
other.
Shade at Blizzard Beach.
Yeah, and again, I think it goes back to really. Wait a second. We'll go back. Blizzard Beach, you didn't think there was any shade? I thought Blizzard Beach had way more shade than Typhoon Lagoon.
What?
Yeah. I felt like there was way more shade, way more trees, way more things in the shade in Blizzard Beach than Typhoon Lagoon. I felt like they put a lot more thought into providing shade areas at Blizzard Beach because, again, I believe that's the park that typically stays open in the summer traditionally, whereas Typhoon Lagoon, since that's more the winter, hey, hit 77 degrees today park, that they don't worry about shade quite as much there. That was at least my impression of it. I remember really struggling to find shade quite a bit in Typhoon Lagoon.
There was more shade where you walked around in Typhoon Lagoon than shade to sit.
Yeah, but that's what's most important.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking like shade in general. Like the walkways were more shaded in Typhoon Lagoon versus Blizzard Beach. Everything was more open in the walkways. But they did have more like shaded, like those canopy things and more trees.
So food at Typhoon Lagoon, because everybody's got to eat. You're out in the sun for quite a while. What did you think of the food there? Kind of meh?
It was meh. My salad was okay.
I got the nachos and they were very meh.
I was wanting a salad, but the one I had at Blizzard Beach was much better than the one that I got at Typhoon Lagoon.
I thought the food at Blizzard Beach was much better.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of didn't like the food at Typhoon Lagoon, but then I thought Blizzard Beach was good. Like, it was perfectly fine. Like, it's not going to knock your socks off, but I didn't like the food at Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
I thought the food at Blizzard Beach was fine. You know. Now, some of the drinks at Typhoon Lagoon were really good. I was really ticked that the Jack Daniel's slushy machine
was down.
It saved
we only
me,
got one.
It saved me
quite
a lot of money. I kept checking on it like every 30 minutes. That Jack Daniel's, that Jack and Coke slushy, that is
so fun in the summer.
Oh
it's
my
really nice.
Goodness, that is one of my absolute favorite things. They hit the mix on it like
it was perfect.
Just right.
It
is perfect. It's a perfect grown-up slushy. I mean, I think the only thing that rivals it as far as like slushy wise is the Grand Marnier Grey Goose vodka slushy. in
That one's
Epcot?
better. Sorry.
I don't think so.
I think so. I
But
think so.
I think it's the only thing that rivals it.
I think that one's better. That's
Yeah.
just my own personal
Yeah.
taste, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm a whiskey guy. So.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, so the food, I think, at Typhoon Lagoon, you can find something to eat, but don't plan on any like rich culinary experiences while you're there. It's a water park.
Snacks.
Bring snacks.
Bring snacks.
If you're gonna pack lunch, that's the place to do it.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. I noticed it seemed like there were a lot of locals while we were there.
Yeah,
because there were a lot of people that had snacks with them, like full on lunch, like had a cooler and everything, and they were there for the day.
And especially
like
especially at Typhoon Lagoon, I think that's the way to go, because I was not impressed with the food or the selections for the food at all. It was
It also seemed like the food area was much smaller at Typhoon Lagoon versus the kitchen at Blizzard Beach. The kitchen at Blizzard Beach seemed much bigger.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a second to recognize and to thank our sponsor for this episode. It's the DVC Rental Store. If you ever wanted to stay in a deluxe Disney resort, but without the deluxe price tag, I'm sure you do. Who doesn't? Well, we did too, which is why we love the DVC Rental Store. It's the easiest way to book amazing stays at Disney's deluxe resorts, like the Polynesian, Boardwalk, or Animal Kingdom Lodge, at a huge savings. What's great is that you don't need to be a Disney Vacation Club member. They match you with owners who have points available to rent. We highly recommend it, and now we are proud to be affiliates with them. Check out our link in the show notes to start planning your next magical trip without blowing the budget. Now back to the show.
Well, so overall impression of Typhoon Lagoon, we had fun. Catch a Kitty Creek is the little toddler area. That was pretty great. The wave pool is insane.
Yeah.
I would say for the bigger kids, the slides aren't bad, but the crazy slides are over at Blizzard Beach.
To be for the bigger kids.
Yeah. So, if your family likes things, I think a little bit less adrenaline junkie, Typhoon Lagoons are pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a convenience I feel to it that where it felt a little bit more convenient, because we're going to get into a couple of things at Blizzard Beach that are a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But they're each their own thing. If you can go to both, if you can do a split stay, and they're both open, I would definitely recommend doing them, especially if you go to the parks a lot. It's one of those things where you have to do the math. Like, okay, if we don't go to Disney that often, is it worth burning time at the water park or not? If you've got an annual pass, I say it's a no-brainer. It's part of the Disney experience to me.
Honestly, if we lived in the state and weren't 6 hours away, I would add the water park pass on to our passes.
Annual pass?
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Like if I was a local, that would just be part of my
it's what, like
pass.
an extra $100?
Yeah, it's only $99.
I think it's 70 or 80 to get in normally. So yeah.
You've made money after the second visit.
Yeah. Girl math made money, but yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You've paid for it after the
yes. You got a return on your investment.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like Typhoon Lagoon. I like the way it looked. That one felt a lot more it felt less tacky. I'll just put it that way. It felt less tacky. But Blizzard Beach was fun but tacky at the same time. So it's not like tacky in a bad way.
No.
It's just a little bit
it's
more
heavily themed.
Like they're really trying.
They're trying to make you feel like you're at like a chalet.
Well, like so
in the snow.
With Typhoon Lagoon, there's a theme, but you could be very well forgiven if you were there the entire day and you left and you didn't pick up on what the theme was. Right? Like, whereas like Blizzard Beach, if you walk in that place for 5 minutes and you don't know what the theme is,
you're a moron.
Yeah, you're a moron.
Yeah.
So
the name itself.
Yeah. So
give it away.
They really hit you over the head with like the summer winter wonderland thing.
Right. Yeah.
Which I mean, it's fine because it's
really
fun.
Cute because they have the little sleigh as soon as you walk into the left side where you can take pictures, and they have like the soap bubbles that make it look like snow. I mean, it's really cute.
Yeah.
It really is cute.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all, but it's just like it's a difference in kind.
It's a totally different kind of theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, I thought that the lazy river was more fun at Blizzard Beach, but more relaxing at Typhoon Lagoon.
I agree.
There was more shade at the Typhoon Lagoon lazy river than there was on the Blizzard Beach lazy river. And they had more like exciting things in the Blizzard Beach lazy river too.
Isn't the Blizzard Beach lazy river like considerably longer
Yes,
as well?
it's much bigger.
Yeah. It took forever to
It
get
did.
around.
It was Hayden was done.
Yeah.
He was so beyond done being on the lazy river by the time we got off.
Yeah. I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. So Lazy River and Blizzard Beach are plus. They're really fantastic in both.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Blizzard Beach. Blizzard Beach is also the home of the crazy slides.
Yes. The 120-foot drop slide.
Oh my gosh.
Summit plummet.
We talked about that in our last episode.
I did not go on it this time.
Well, I braved it for you.
You did.
And I was so brave.
You
So
were.
intrepid.
A little boy went in front of you and that made you go.
He was. He was so brave and made me be brave as a 30-something-year-old man. But you know what? I think that little 6-year-old, 80-pound kid took it a lot better than a 6'1", 200-something plus weight-year-old man, because like I felt it hit every fat roll on the way down, and it was fun, but a very long 5 or 6 seconds. You know, it beat me up the entire way down.
I remember the first time the one and only time I've ever gone on that slide. I had the worst wedgie afterwards. And I also felt like I had a terrible headache after. And that was the reason I didn't go on it, was because I was fighting off a migraine the whole day. And I just did not want. And plus, I already had like that whole pinched nerve in my neck while we were there. So that was going to be a bad idea.
Well, that was probably for the best.
Yeah. Next time.
But yeah, if you like thrill rides, Blizzard Beach has like the thrill ride of water slides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give the disclaimer, when we were there this past time, we didn't do a lot of the slides besides those just because we spent so much time in the toddler area.
Yeah.
But your brother, I think, hit every slide in the park.
He did. He hit every single slide. We should have him guest star on the show at one point.
We should. But all that to say is, even though we didn't try all the other slides, the 3 main slides are so intense, and then that one slide is so crazy. I can guarantee you that if you have like the adrenaline junkie teenagers, they're going to want to do those slides over anything over at Typhoon Lagoon.
Right, because there's just not anything even close to that at Typhoon Lagoon.
Nothing.
I mean, Slush and Gusher barely even qualifies, and those are like the fastest slides that they have. Right. And I honestly thought that the family raft at Blizzard Beach was so much fun.
Yes, after you climb to the top of the Empire State Building. It's very nice.
It's not that high.
So there are a lot of stairs to climb.
There are a lot of stairs. And when you have a 3-year-old that wants to be carried.
And when the concrete's getting hot.
Yes. And thank goodness my brother was there and was willing to carry him, because I could not, because my neck was starting to go out again with my pinched nerve. And then,
So there is a ski lift that will take you from the bottom all the way up to the top. But you
have to wait a half hour.
Exactly. And so it's quite a long wait, and you just have to decide whether it's worth it to just climb the stairs.
It's the only ski lift in the state of South Carolina.
Is it?
Or
really?
Florida, rather, not South Carolina. We live in South Carolina. Yeah. State of Florida. It's the only ski lift in the state of Florida.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. It's kind of cool. I kind of wish we had like stuck it out and rode it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the ski lift is fun. It's cool, but it's going to take you forever. So if you don't want to stand in line that long and get to those really awesome slides,
get to another line to wait in for the awesome slides.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad. I think the ski lift line was way worse than the slides, But we got right on the raft because we were
did.
there right at
we
opening.
were there
though.
early. Yeah.
That ride was a lot of fun. The family raft ride.
Highly recommend rope dropping the park if you can.
Yeah. It's just like the other Disney parks. It gets worse as it goes on throughout the day.
It gets really crazy busy. Earlier in the morning, it's not as crowded. The lines aren't as bad. And they open at 10. So it's not like you're there as early for rope drop of a regular Disney park.
Right. Now, I thought parking, getting in and out of the parks was very easy. I liked the amount of shade in Blizzard Beach. I felt that the amount of places to sit that are in the shade seemed a lot more plentiful than Typhoon Lagoon. And that was something that I appreciated, especially over near the kiddie section.
The kiddie section was very well shaded.
One of the things, too, like Hayden was way too young to be able to do any of it, but they actually have a section for like teenagers and also those kind of tweeny type kids,
so
where
like kids that are like 8 to 10 or
like
8
Water
to 12.
Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it was
area.
really cool looking. He's still too little, but like kids that are at least 8 years old, I think would be able to do it.
Probably a little younger than that.
Maybe
but
a little.
somewhere in that range, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, Blizzard Beach, especially if you have kids, I think has so much more activities to do that are varied that everybody's going to have
full family.
Yeah.
Like it's got something for everybody.
But to me, it's not quite as tastefully charming as Typhoon Lagoon. But if I could only do one, I'm going to Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
I'm going to Blizzard Beach.
If it's open.
Right. Because I mean, I did miss the wave pool. Like after you do Typhoon Lagoon, the wave pool at Blizzard Beach is like, ooh, it's just kind of there. But and that one's much more just like any other wave pool you've seen.
I think the wave pool at our water park is actually better than that one.
Yeah, I
the waves are bigger.
Yeah, I wasn't super impressed with that bit, but the rest of it was really nice. And I'm not sure that the wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon is enough to entice me to do that over Blizzard Beach.
No.
But then, what was the kiddie area called over in Blizzard Beach?
Pikes Peak.
Okay, yeah. Hayden really had a lot of fun with that.
He did. He loved that area. There was a
lot
there. They had slides that ranged from like you could let your 1-year-old on it to like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds are going to have a great time.
Right.
They had the little raft slides. They had the little jungle area in the back where they could climb in and do the little tube slide, but it was just like super small, but also had water in it. It was just a lot of fun. They also had the little team race slides too, where mom and dad could go down with the kid. They had a lot of slides in that area, much more than Catch a Kitty Creek. It was a bigger kids area, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't count up the slides or measure them out. I mean, they're both they're both generous sized areas in both parks.
Yeah.
But I thought that Catch a Kitty Creek also didn't have as much shade. I keep going back to the shade. Everything over in the Tykes Peak seemed more shaded, a little bit.
The area to the
cooler.
far back had a shaded area.
Right.
Where the little tiny tots area was at with the little sand castle.
Right.
But then like the bigger slides didn't have as much shade, and then there were shade around to the sides.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely had more shade than Typhoon Lagoon because that really didn't have any shade in the kids area, especially after like noon.
So when we think about food, we talked a little bit about it earlier. Blizzard Beach, I enjoyed my lunch there. I thought it was a lot better.
The salad there was much more fresh than the salad at Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, and I got a flatbread, I think. And that was solid. It was really solid. Food was good.
Hayden got chicken tenders and fries at both places, and they were the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the kids are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Both places.
I don't think that packing a lunch is quite as important there or quite as much of a no-brainer money saving
Mm-hmm.
hack. Again, it's not going to be a meal you're going to write home about, but it's decent. Like I
The
didn't like.
Joffrey's there was really good.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a killer drink
Yeah.
there.
Their coffee was excellent. They had like a special flavor. I don't remember what it is now, but it was amazing.
Some kind of
cold brew.
s'mores variation type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. And it's charming. It's fun. They had a lot of the cool kid summer stuff set up too.
Mm-hmm.
We all got tattoos, and
Hayden really loved that. They had bubbles going. Then Goofy came out. It was a fun time. It really was a fun time.
Yeah, and I would say both are great water parks. If you have an entire family, varying ages, Blizzard Beach I think is the no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you don't, I think it comes to be a little bit more of a matter of taste.
Like preference. Yeah.
Yeah, if you just have a little kid, it more is preference over what kind of kiddie area you like more. But if you're a parent who wants to ride a couple fun thrill-seeking type rides yourself, you might want to consider Blizzard Beach. At the same time, if that's not so much your speed and you just want to be in the lazy river, you might find that Typhoon Lagoon is a little bit more easy to navigate and a little less wait in line, crowded kind of thing. Though you do have to make a little bit of a trek to get out to Ketchikiddee Creek the first time. That was one thing I liked about Blizzard Beach is pretty much as soon as you walk in the place, you're boom right there at the little kids section.
Yeah, it was right there.
You have like a half-mile hike ahead of you over at Typhoon Lagoon. It's quite a trek.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit further in the back.
Yeah.
For the kids area.
So, both are worth doing. If you do a split stay, it's something definitely worth considering. If you're going to Disney and you've never been to the water parks and you like water parks, it's definitely something to not skip.
Yeah.
Another thing that we did too is, you can typically only take so much time out of water park, especially with a small child, before you were just wiped. So we still did other Disney parks in the evening. We rope dropped the water parks, went back, took a nap, and then hit other Disney parks in the evening. So it doesn't mean
rope dropped Hollywood Studios first, then went to the water park.
You're correct. I forgot about that.
Then
that was a crazy day.
That was a crazy day.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? We went to Hollywood Studios and then we went to the water park and then we went back to the room and took a nap and then we closed out the park.
Yeah, so all that to be said is that, it's not one or the other. But again, one of the things too is, if you don't have an annual pass but you are staying on property, it is good to think about because, you can get a whole day in a park and keep your kids entertained and you're not burning a Disney park price ticket,
Right.
I mean, it's going to cost you minimum $150 to $200 per person. So if you're able to save that,
especially on day of check-in,
because
you've been traveling, you're trying to get there, the water park is a great option.
Yeah, it's a lovely perk. I think
they're open till 6. You don't have to rope drop it. Like you can just be nonchalant and just walk in when you walk in.
Yeah,
and still have a fabulous time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's a great perk. The way they have it set up is very nice, and it's making good use of the parks that are already there, and helps keep, I guess, the crowds dispersed, keep those parks full, and help everybody to have a good time.
And it's another great incentive to stay on property.
Yeah.
We're big on property folks.
We are.
We weren't always that way, but
it's changed over time.
It's changed over time, especially having a small kid. If you can get that extra half hour with the
rope dropping
extra magic hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially if your kid's already an early riser, it's worth it for us. But if you're not an early riser, it's not worth it for you.
Yeah. And that's something to consider as well for this perk is, it is only day of check-in. It's only day of check-in. So say you have a flight in, say you're flying from out of town and you don't fly in until 12, 1, 2 in the afternoon. The amount of time that you have in that park may be limited and you need to pack accordingly.
Yeah.
Like in your carry-ons. but we always drive up. So actually what we did was we drove up and stayed at a cheap off-property hotel the night before, so
I
we
will
could road
never
drive.
do that again.
That was really rough. It was rough.
I'm not saying I'll never stay off property again. I will never stay at that particular off property place again.
It was $50.
And it showed.
It did. But hey, we got a full day's worth of Disney goodness.
And a fun story to tell.
And then we also, because we got there ahead of time, so we hit Epcot that evening too, since we got annual passes. So it was all worth it in the end. But all that to say is you've got to plan it, and the time that you arrive in town makes a difference. So if you're driving in, you might want to leave early. If you're flying in, you might want to fly in early. But it's a very nice perk. We highly suggest take advantage of it if you have the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So that was our breakdown of Typhoon Lagoon versus Blizzard Beach. Which park do you vote, Megan?
I vote Blizzard Beach.
I also vote Blizzard Beach. May its tackiness live on for all eternity. It's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It's very cool. But Typhoon Lagoon is good too. If you end up going and you can only go to one of the two, I think you're going to have a great time no matter what.
They're both great.
I'd be excited to go to either. It's not like Blizzard Beach is so much better than Typhoon Lagoon. It just makes you disappointed.
We're just splitting hairs at this point.
Right. But those slides, I like crazier rides. That slide was a lot of fun. So it just depends what you like, but you're gonna have fun either way.
Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And know what your thoughts are, whether you prefer Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach.
Yep. And if you are planning a trip to Disney, we suggest that you check out our sponsor for this episode, which is the DVC Rental Store at dvcrentalstore.com. They allow you to book DVC rooms and rent points at much cheaper prices than booking straight through Disney. And if you have one of these rentals through the DVC Rental Store, it also qualifies with current promotions. It may change in the future, but current promotions to be able to go to one of the water parks at your day of check-in. So instead of paying the rack rate, check out the DVC Rental Store to see if you can save money on deluxe stays at Disney resorts. That is definitely the way to go.
They are worth it.
Definitely worth it. All right. Well, we hope that you appreciate this episode and our rambling about the Disney parks. I couldn't believe that we ended up talking almost 40 minutes about this. But if you learned something or had something that you want to share with us or hear us talk about, make sure to reach out to us at onceuponadestination@gmail.com or leave comments wherever you found us. We hope that you like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And if you like our podcast, please leave a review. Again, that really helps us out. Be sure to check out our sponsors at the DVC Rental Store, and we will see you soon.